Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Monday, February 28, 2022. The sun is in Pisces, and the sun's transit in Pisces really shines the spotlight on our playful and creative capacities. This is a time to rest, reflect, and rejuvenate as we come to the end of the zodiac year. And it's interesting to notice also that both of Pisces' ruling planets, Jupiter and Neptune, are also in Pisces. So that spotlight is really being shown not just on our capacity to rest and play and reflect and rejuvenate, but that those capacities are being expanded with Jupiter. They're being touched with good fortune and also with inspiration, connection to spirit, and connection to humanity. The moon in Aquarius brings an analytical and inclusive vibe to the personal life. And with the waning crescent moon, there's a recognition here that sometimes we have to take a step back in order to move forward. So waning crescent moon is really a time to be releasing, to be letting go of outdated ideas, dispositions, attitudes, and stuff that no longer works for us or serves a purpose in our lives. So Aquarius is a great time to be doing that because it is focused on the work we have to do. It is Saturn influenced, and Saturn is sitting in Aquarius still right now, so it's very Saturn influenced. It really talks about the work that we have to do in order to let go of the things that no longer work for us over the next couple days, so that when we come to this new moon on Wednesday in Pisces, that'll be a great time to clean slate, begin again to intend, initiate, and make plans. I'm going to go ahead and get right into the aspects, but I want to remind you that there is a legend on the side. The legend contains all of the symbols that are on the page today, and you can refer there if you feel lost at all. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and describe all of the symbols as they come up anyway. Otherwise, I've divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon reflects or sheds light on our inner lives. The inner life is really your relationship with yourself, how it feels to be in your body, heart, and mind, those things that you think, feel, know, and intuit, and also how you engage in your home life. So this is very private life, stuff that's on the inside and doesn't necessarily get expressed in the outer world. And the aspects that the moon makes are all relatively brief because from our perspective, the moon moves very quickly. So these all take about 2 hours, and they represent sort of ambient energies that might have something to do with some effect on your moods or your intuitions. And then the sun sheds light on our outer lives. This is who we are in our work, social, and civic spheres. It's that person that people first get to know when they meet you, the part of you that interfaces with the public. And I address the sun's aspects and the rest of the planets here too, because they take longer and they have more to do with how we engage out in the world. And we start with the moon today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 7:50 in the morning. The moon makes a square with Uranus. So if you are feeling or noticing around you a feeling of being jumpy, excitable, I put mood swingy here. We might be feeling some extremes or just some back and forth in our moods. Moon in aspect with Uranus can do that, especially in a challenging aspect. Uranus is our planet for change, shifts that we need to make or can make in order to make things go easily for us. And the moon, of course, is our personal life. That square aspect makes it challenging, though, with those inner life changes that we see that we might want to make. So part of this is communication. You know, most of us are not alone at home. We have other people that we have to communicate within that space to make the changes that we want to make. Then at 4:11 in the afternoon, the moon makes a conjunct with Mercury. So if you are feeling at this time emotional or more intuitive sensitivity, your thoughts tend to race, especially this is your personal life in an amplified situation with thoughts, plans, and communications, that those daily thoughts, plans, and communications that you make. So definitely we can be a little more sensitive. We can be a little more communicative. And it's a good time to express yourself, especially about what's going on in your heart and home, and especially with those people that you keep close. In fact, with that conjunct energy, one may just feel compelled to say whatever comes up. And then in the evening, here at 8:01, the moon makes another conjunct with Saturn. We've had all this conjunct energy, and we've got it coming up in this next week, over this week. And gosh, that's kind of exciting. It's very intensifying vibration of the feelings we might be having, as well as our efforts in the world. So again, the personal life is in this amplified position, this time with the planet that represents the structures and networks that we rely on for support and validation, as well as our responsibility to maintain them. When Moon is in aspect with Saturn, we tend to feel somehow about those structures. And this conjunct, especially with the Moon in Aquarius, because Saturn is sitting in Aquarius, and Saturn is one of Aquarius's planetary rulers, we can be feeling sort of serious, becoming aloof or a little bit detached or cold again around the people that we keep close. This is kind of a self-discipline challenge. Drama can come up in the heart or in the home life, and we have to, really endeavor to behave well with those people that we keep close, and to treat ourselves kindly as well. It's okay to become a little aloof and detached if you've really got your mind on, those stability matters, those matters of your own structural integrity. But again, remain disciplined in your approach to your partnerships as well. And then on the sun side of the page, in the ongoing column, we have through the 20th of March, which will be spring equinox, Venus in a conjunct position with Mars. So Venus and Mars are sort of like the divine couple, and they're often expressed in terms of feminine versus masculine, although I would not bring it back down to human genders at all. There's just a quality about Venus that is about what I am receptive to, what I like, love, and can't get enough of, what I can attract and draw into me. Whereas with Mars, there's more of a feeling of initiative and even force, sort of a brave, bold, courageous, forward approach to things. Mars wants to take action. So, together, when these two energies are together and amplifying one another, we kind of have both. We're very attractive and we're very assertive. And we can pursue our goals with passion and drive. Venus, went through a retrograde, and it's already been through a couple of conjuncts with like Mercury and Pluto. So Venus has done a lot of work lately. Our receptive selves have done a lot of work lately, whereas Mars has just been sort of tra-la-la through the signs doing its initiative thing. So Mars may actually be a stronger drive for us at this time than Venus. Venus is kind of checked themselves, while Mars is still in an assertive mode. So passion and drive are the name of the game, especially when pursuing those partnership goals. Avoid becoming reckless and unrealistic regarding your partnership goals. Especially, again, with Mars involved, we can be a little bit, when we're feeling that sense of initiative and empowerment, we can feel a little bit impetuous and likely to change things up or to do things that, you can rationalize might be part of your partnership goals, but it's not something you really discussed with that partner. So it may not actually be in alignment. So just be really clear on that. And I'm going to mention again that these are both currently traveling in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So again, this is very much a theme around our structural integrity, the stability, the networks that we rely on for support and validation, and our responsibility to maintain them. And especially in partnership, a lot of that responsibility comes back to being good in communication with your partners, workplace partners, family partners, friendship partners, and romantic partners. Also in the ongoing column on the sun side of the page, we have Jupiter in a sextile position with Uranus. And this is also just happening during the same time as Venus conjunct Mars through at least the spring equinox. So Jupiter is our planet for expanding, good fortune, positivity, travel abroad and higher education, bigger business pursuits. It's sort of the planet that grows our sense of what is possible for us. And the sextile relationship is dynamic. It generates something positive. And Uranus is about being awakened to, probably through shakeups and changes that other people are making, awakened to shifts and changes that we can make to make things go more easily for us. So, be fearless right now in the face of these expanded opportunities and positive shifts, especially in the context of your partnerships. These expanded opportunities and positive shifts are available. They come up somewhat intuitively, thanks to Uranus, and so when we see the new opportunity, the awesome, great new opportunity, we look to our partner and we say, "This is great, yes?" And they say, "Yes, this is great, let's do it." And you just move forward into it. As for what's coming up on Wednesday, we'll have the new moon in Pisces. So that'll be our clean slate that we can clean up, consecrate, appreciate that the fact that we have this clean slate, and then begin to set onto it more intentions and goals for the near future and for the long term as well. And in Pisces, it's a really creative vibe, so we can really sort of get playful and creative and think expansively about the changes that we want to make. Also on Wednesday, Mercury is going to make a conjunct with Saturn. We're going to be having some conversations about those things that we rely on for support and about the work that we have to do in the world. Then coming up on Thursday, Mars and Venus are both going to make conjunct with Pluto. So if you think you're going through some changes now as you focus in on your partnerships, there are transformative energies coming up for us. They're all three in Capricorn, so this is transformation around the work that we have to do and our sense of stability within the context of our partnerships. So that's exciting. We're going to be talking about that coming up on Thursday. And then on Saturday, there are a number of things happening, but the sun is going to make a conjunct with Jupiter, so it's really going to put that spotlight again on Jupiter as Jupiter is reaching its aphelion, which is the farthest point from the sun. So it's like we're going to be shown these good fortune opportunities. They're really going to be highlighted for us, but there might be a little bit of work we have to do to get to them because Jupiter at its aphelion sort of indicates a delayed effect of Jupiter's gifts. Also on Saturday, although I didn't write it down, Mars and Venus are both going to travel and make ingress to Aquarius. They'll no longer be in Capricorn. And Venus will make another conjunct. Venus and Mars will make their full conjunct coming up on Saturday, which will be the complete intensification of that aspect. Okay, so that's the aspects for today. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still with me 14 minutes in, go ahead and like my video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. I post every day, so you'll want to see that when it comes out, usually around 7 p.m. the night before. And now I'm going to shift into talking a little bit of tarot. But first I want to encourage you also, if you have any thoughts, if something comes up for you while you're looking at this, or if you have a question, please feel free to post it in the comments section below. I do check my comments every day or every other day, and I will be happy to see them and respond to whatever you have to say. So first I'm going to pay attention to the card on the side of the page here. The card on the side of the page represents the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Pisces. And this is the last day for that. We're 10 days in now into the sun's transit through Pisces. So tomorrow we're going to switch to the Nine of Cups, and we'll go ahead and talk about that for another 10 days. But Eight of Cups, again, is really, this can bring about a sense of loss or disappointment or abandonment. But again, I look at it in sort of a positive way because it indicates internal strength. This is a scenario where somebody has made an investment. They've poured their heart and soul into something, whether that was, a partnership, or it was a creative effort, something you were trying to make or build, like a business or a baby, or an art project. Anything that you've been working to create, and then when you got to it, when you came to the culmination of that creation, it wasn't what you thought it would be, and hopefully we wouldn't do this with an actual baby, but it wasn't what you thought it would be. It probably isn't enough cups. It isn't enough of a big receptacle or vessel to pour our expanded creativity and what do I want to say, inspiration into. So we have to recognize that we made this investment and it wasn't what we thought that we had to be, it should be, or it wasn't fulfilling enough when we got there, even though it was what we planned for it to be. So it takes inner strength to walk away and to go in search. It takes inner strength to say, yes, I made this investment, but I know I have a bottomless well of love and inspiration and creative capacity, so I can leave this creation sort of behind and move on to the next biggest thing for myself. So to me, that's inner strength, and that's sort of trusting in the capacity of ourselves in concert with spirit and the universe to be able to achieve what it is that we seek to achieve for ourselves, especially in terms of our creative capacity, our intuition, and our emotional life. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and throw a card for today. I've already mixed up these cards, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to mix them up while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in, I want to say Neptune. The sun is in Pisces today, which is co-ruled by Neptune and Jupiter, and Neptune and Jupiter are also both in Pisces. So the Pisces vibes of creation, creativity, and inspiration, and expanded capacity to do those things are very strong right now. And the waning crescent moon is asking us to get rid of things, while the moon in Aquarius helps us bring a sort of analytical approach to how we can get rid of things and sort of be the rising tide that lifts all boats. So perhaps you have something of great value that is no longer very valuable to yourself, and you know somebody who can use it. It's time to release it, let it go, give it to them. And then we also have Venus conjunct Mars, and we've got all this conjunct energy on the page. Remember a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, look at all these Saturns. Now I'm like, look at all these conjuncts. Everything is very intense right now. We are going through positive changes. So, roll with it, babies, if you can. And practice a little self-discipline if you're struggling to roll with it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card. Eight of Pentacles. I love the Eight of Pentacles. It comes up for me a lot. And it's just, this is an indication that we have work to do. Again, Capricorn, Saturn, work mode, okay? And the conjunct energy is there too, because really you just have to join yourself with the work you have to do. Leave the rest of the world outside. You can have a window to look out there to dream about the future, but the focus is in here and on the stuff that we need to do. And taken in context with the Eight of Cups, we've got two eights here. I love the number 8 because it just has that sort of balanced feel to it when you look at it at the numeral 8. It's a little bit like an infinity symbol, right? So sort of on and on and on and on, but definitely Eight of Pentacles says I still have work to do. And in the context of the Eight of Cups, perhaps that was the realization that you made when you came to the point where you had culminated the fruit of whatever it was you were trying to create or whatever you were investing yourself in. And then you realized, it's not my masterpiece. I've got to move on. I've got other work to do to manifest the emotional satisfaction that I'm looking for. So Eight of Pentacles is encouragement. It says, you're building resources. You have good resources. You have the tools you need to make your resources more abundant for you. Just remain focused on those labors. Repeat yourself. Repetition works, right? Okay, I think that's all I have to say about that today. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate your presence every day. And my name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more daily aspects.